Do you feel like people are intimidated in some way in that house?
It's easier to control animals than human beings.
And the Nigerian residents don't know what a ball is.
Crazy and fun too.
Crazy to watch or crazy to participate in? The fake housemates. Who do you think it is?
Doris.
First live show of the season, Ebuka dived in immediately, telling the housemates how they gave 10 over 10 with their pool party and their Saturday night party, except for Mide, who seemed to be scared of partying. I love that this is Ebuka is doing the job on our behalf. Anyways, he also wished Denari a happy birthday, asking him how he's feeling, even though he knows that he's tensed, but happy birthday to him. And then Ebuka talked about their wager task presentation, telling them that shame we are him in Shago, and asked the head of house what happened. And head of house said Omo is all he can say, but it was just all of them as a communal, as a collective, as a community, as a house, coming together to bring their ideas, and it didn't go well. So Ebuka said, so it's not a you problem, but that of the house. And he said yes. Ebuka said, fair enough. Only if the HOH knows that some foreigners in the building were already blaming him for not getting the information right and letting those who know the meaning of ball do their thing. But anyways, we passed that. Up next, Ebuka sensitized us on the need to vote very well, and not just voting, but voting the right housemates. He said so far that 10 housemates have been delivering vibes, energy, and it will be well on us to also deliver in terms of voting. We shouldn't vote out of sentiment, out of pity. Rather, we should look for housemates that are entertaining and vote in order to make sure that the season remains a 10 over 10 season and not by mere sentiments. Ebuka, no be you go tell us who go vote. No be you go tell me who I go vote with my money. Anyway, but I understand what Ebuka is saying, because if we continue voting out of sentiment, this show is gonna be a poverty alleviation show. Anyways, after that, Ebuka dived back into the house to ask housemates some questions, starting with culture, who he asked, why is it that the housemates this season are not interested being the HOH, like they were having a conversation after the wager task presentation failure, that they are not interested in being HOH. Well, culture told Ebuka that controlling animals seems easier than controlling the housemates here. And for him, it's not that he's not interested in being the head of house, but mentally, he's not yet ready to take up that role for now. And then Ebuka asked Tracy, who was also in the midst when they were having this conversation, asking, why don't you guys want to be HOH? Like, this is the first time I'm hearing housemates talking about not wanting HOH. That means you do not want immunity. Well, Tracy told Ebuka, have you seen this housemates? That is not that she does not want to be head of house or have immunity. In fact, that she was telling the housemates, don't you people want immunity and all of that she wants to, but it will be requiring lots of work. That was just what they were talking about. And Ebuka said, well, not being HOH in this season, not having immunity, it will be very risky. Sabrina was also put in the spotlight with Ebuka asking him why did she have to blame the head of house for their task flop, and then blaming Big Brother for giving them a task that is not Nigerian oriented, and then blaming the Nigerians in the house for not knowing what a ball is. And Sabrina then started blabbing, saying no, that she said it was done excellently according to what the HOH wanted and not what the brief is all about. But Ebuka chipped in, telling her no, it was a flop. Big Brother didn't find that excellently done. And she said, and again, she didn't say Nigeria does not know what a ball is, that all she said was that it's not Nigerian oriented. But Ebuka had to cut her in, say no. In your words, you said that the foreigners in the house knew what ball means, but then the Nigerians in the house do not know what a ball is. And it's funny because even the foreigners self, when they say they know what in ball mean, Shebi Gigi Jasmine wore leggings to that show. Well, Sabrina blabbed all through, and I don't know. I think Ibuka was trying to make a defense or what. Ugbeni, who called you to defend anything? But anyways, I hope the housemates this season will be ready to defend and talk their talk. Not like after saying something, when you'll be put on the spotlight, you'll be saying another thing. If there is anything Ebuka is doing this season that I like, is that he's doing the Lord's work. And I hope he continues this week. Ebuka spoke to the housemates about the promises they made to us on stage, saying they'll bring in vibe, they will do this, they will do that. He now told them that I'm yet to see most of you. And straight to why Ebuka went to Bright, and I said, yes, Bright Morgan, the right person. Well, Ebuka asked Bright Morgan how has it been for him so far, and he said tough, and stressful. And Ebuka said tough to watch or to participate. See, I love that question. I hope the housemates use their tongue to count their teeth. When someone asks you, tough to participate in or tough to watch? Because, bro, you've just been adding colors to the house. Well, let's say maybe he's taking his time to to come up. And, well, Bright Morgan was honest. He said it's tough to watch, that so far he's not the type that allows trouble, but if you bring trouble his way, he will give it back to you. And next, Ebuka went to Joanna, hailing her the vibe queen. Oh my god, it must be tough doing this kind of job. Ebuka asked Joanna that is it possible that most housemates are feeling intimidated by their fellow housemates, but Joanna said no, they are not. It's just maybe some people have a laid back character attitude, and it's good if you decide to be yourself, and not be what you're not. But saying they are intimidated, no, she does not think anybody in this house is intimidated, and that's fair enough though. Ebuka asked Imisi that with the rumors and perception that there is a fake housemate within them, who does she think this fake housemate is? Anyways, Imisi, while looking around, and Ebuka said, just give me a name. And she said Doris. And Ebuka said, why? She said, well, not like it's not coming from a personal beef or anything, but she just think it's Doris. And I think Ebuka was just having fun with this housemate. Like he said this live show is like more of the one he has enough time to communicate with them, because from the next week eviction will set in and he might not really have this much time to discuss with them. But one thing I actually liked about all this communication with the housemate is that he didn't care going into all those side gossip that was going on, because I was even saying, please don't ask this housemate about this, because when you ask, some of them that won't be enough to talk there, that won't be bold enough, to chest what they said, might go in and then, go back to their shadow. You get? But keeping it this way, at least we'll see more gossip from that gossip headquarters that happened at midnight. Well, Ebuka even made the fun more tense by telling the nominated housemates to stand. And he took turn telling those that were saved, you're safe, he was just making fun of it. And I know most of them wanted to pass out. Like when he told Kola, he mentioned Kola's name and then said, I will get back to you. Like, come on, Ebuka is good in this job. And after some moments of calling few of the housemates' name, he then went ahead to tell them that they are all safe for the week. And who was that person that was shouting, I said it? You said waiting. Well, I don't say anything. You said nothing, my dear. I think that was Bright Morgan. Yeah, Bright Morgan was saying, I said it. You said nothing. You said nothing. You said it, and you wore that agbada that we are seeing, that beautiful agbada. I beg you. Nobody's predicting this show for us this season. Anyways, well, Ebuka, being so nice, decided to advise the housemates that most of them are doing nothing in the house. Most of them feel they've watched the show enough, to tell the game, to tell what is needed. That they should do the most and be up and doing entertain us. Because while they are safe this week, next week might not be the same. And there is something Ebuka also mentioned, that the HOH game, that those top 5 in tonight's HOH game will be the ones that will challenge the head of house tomorrow, and I love it. You know how I know most people are now planning to go for the weaker or people they assume are not tough enough to challenge them. but Big Brother will spill that. We spin that on them, and I'm glad he hasn't told them. Maybe after playing, and when it's time to defend your HOH seat, he will now inform them about it. I love that this game is not predictable. I don't want it to be predictable. I don't want the housemate to feel, oh, I know what's coming next. I've watched 10 years now. I don't want that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You're all safe this week. This is not your house. Now feel at home, make catfish stay inside water with inside pots.